what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Liverpool versus Real Madrid. What a tasty game we have on our hands coming up. It's very exciting. It's a very special game for both Liverpool and for both Real Madrid, because we know what happened in the last few years when both sets have met, and this is hopefully going to be another one of those games that, for the neutral, is going to be very exciting, very interesting. But as a Real Madrid fan, I do really hope that we can go to Anfield and get the results. And call me delusional, but I think that we can do it. And okay, it might be because we have just beaten Osasuna a couple of weeks ago, and we have just beaten Leganes. But I feel like the form is hopefully changing for the better. The bad run of games, which is the two games, hopefully are going to get switched around, and hopefully it's going to turn for the better. Now, in the Champions League this season, we have lost to Lille away and AC Milan at home. So it's going to be very interesting to see what we will get, what will happen against, for me, the best team in the world. I think they're up there with Barcelona, but I do feel like Liverpool are better. So they are the team to beat for everyone in the Premier League and in the Champions League. So hopefully we will be that team to go there and to win. But it's a lot easier said than done, because they are a well coached side, as Thibaut Courtois said in an interview, and I do believe they will give us a lot of problems. But let's go to Liverpool and how they've started their season. Now, the last couple of home games have been very interesting. They beat Aston Villa. I watched that game. It was pretty convincing. They beat Bayer Leverkusen. It was a domination. They beat Brighton at home. It was close. Brighton probably a bit unlucky not to get something from there. They beat Chelsea again. It was pretty close, but they were better. They beat Bologna quite convincingly. They trashed West Ham. They trashed Bournemouth. They lost to Nottingham Forest. And yeah, at the start of the season they beat Brentford. So most of their home games have been convincing, apart from 3, and they lost one of the 3, and the other 2 they got the results. So based on that, you can tell that it's going to be very difficult, because even when they aren't at their best, they find a way. They're basically doing what Real Madrid do this season, and part of that is because those teams that go to Anfield and play well and deserve to get something, they don't kill the game off. They let Liverpool get away with it, and then Liverpool maybe hit them on a counter, or something along those lines, and they get the job done. So this season there's been a pattern that some games, or a lot of the games, in the first 45 minutes, Liverpool actually don't start off as well as they play in the second half. So it is very important that we get the control and get the good start and take advantage. Now, I anticipate that if Real Madrid lead in the first half, Liverpool will play higher up. They will press more. They will probably leave gaps behind, and we are good enough to probably exploit those opportunities. So we need a very, very good performance, because if we are playing at our best, we can beat Liverpool. We can. We've proved it before in the past few years. In 2018, we were probably the better team on paper and the better team. 2021, um, we certainly weren't favourites. I wouldn't say so. We had a very good squad, yes, on paper again, but Liverpool could have won. It was Vinicius and Asensio that carried us during the lockdown days. 2022 final. Um, Again, we were dominated. We weren't the better team. On paper, we probably were, but Mane, Salah, they were cooking. Courtois saved us. 2023, we were 2-0 down in the first 20 minutes, and we somehow found a way to win 5-2. So, if you look back at most of the last couple of years we played Liverpool, we don't tend to be the better team on paper or on the pitch, but we found a way. And we are going to need another one of those days where we might not be the better team, but we find a way. Can we do that? I have faith, I have optimism, call it delusion, but I do have a bit of faith. So, let's hope that we can do it. I really hope. I really, really hope. Some players that we'll look out for, obviously, Mohamed Salah. We'll get on to him in a second. And, what a player he is. I think he's the best player in the Premier League. He's a fantastic player and has been for 7 years now. Back in the 2018 days, he was good. He probably wasn't the best player in the world, but he was already a very good player, and he's just turned even better. Luis Diaz can cause a lot of problems. He did it in their last Champions League game. Van Dijk, what a beast. Darwin Núñez can cause problems with his pace. Szoboszlai, Trent might not be fit. I think he's in the matchday squad, but Arne Slot did say that he's unlikely to play, a lot of the game. So it could be mind games, but he probably might come on, but who knows. Alisson, I think, is injured as well. Jota, I think, is injured as well. And apart from that, they've pretty much got everyone else. Gravenberg, McAllister, Konate, Curtis Jones, Elliott. It's probably going to be Connor Bradley on the right hand side. I can't see it being anyone else unless it's Joe Gomez. So yeah, it's a very, very good team. It's a very, very good squad, and they are well coached by a very, very good manager. But the win is definitely up for grabs, in my opinion. Now, how would I line Real Madrid up? Personally, in goal, no questions whatsoever, it's going to be Courtois. Lunin deserves more love and, obviously, more recognition. I thought he played well against Osasuna. In the 2 games that we lost that Courtois wasn't available, he wasn't fully to blame. And yeah, Courtois is back. Courtois started against Leganes. I think because he wanted to, warm himself up. And yeah, I think Ancelotti wanted Courtois to get ready for this big game. So I think Courtois will play, definitely. The back four, I think, is pretty standard. The 2 centre backs, it's going to be Rudiger and it's going to be Asensio. They're going to need to have a very good game tomorrow. Presumably up against Darwin Núñez. On the flanks, please, I'm saying for once, please go with Mendy and Valverde, because we need a defensive left back to cover Salah. We can't leave Salah with lots of space. He will create or he will score somehow. He will find a way. So Fran Garcia cannot start this game because he's a good offensive player. He's been playing well, but he pushes forward. If he loses the ball, he doesn't recover fast enough. He doesn't track back fast enough, and we are exposed. Which means Rudiger has to go out of position to cover for him. So please, Mendy, left back, keep it safe. I'd rather we play a defensive left back against the best right winger in the world. Right back, please, Fede Valverde as well. I know Lucas Vazquez is back in the squad, but no. If you want to bring Lucas Vazquez on for 10 minutes when you're winning, okay. But he's come back from an injury. I presume he's not fully fit anyways. But don't throw him in regardless whether he's fit. Because Rafinha and Rafael Leao cooked him. I'm sorry. They did. So Valverde has to play there. The midfield is very interesting. Camavinga is a starter. Modric is a starter. For the experience, Camavinga is probably the only defensive option we have. And the last one is between Arda Güler playing as the 8 and Bellingham as the false 9, or Bellingham as the 8 and Endrick as the false 9. Now, I've seen Arda Güler against Leganes and I thought he was very good, creative player, very, passionate, just, a very young, player who is hungry. So I would start him. And the reason I wouldn't start Bellingham in that 8 and leave Endrick up top is you are playing up against Konate and Virgil van Dijk, most likely. Probably. In fact, yeah. And if you know, Endrick is pretty small. He's not the most physical. He's probably not really your normal false 9 in the box. Your normal striker, the target man. He likes to roam around more. We need a target man. We don't have Vinicius, who's injured for this game. Right? He's injured. He's out. And Mbappe will play on the left now. He can finally cook. We'll get on to him. Bellingham has to be the man up front. He did this role last season and it played well. So please, this will probably be the only, option. I can't see Endrick starting. I can't see Dani Ceballos starting either. And then the front two next to Bellingham has to be Brahim and Mbappe. So that is your starting 11. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Like, it just has to be. Militao, Carvajal injured, Vinicius is injured, Tchouaméni is injured. Yeah. And then I wouldn't start Fran Garcia or Lucas Vazquez, or Endrick. So you're left with what you have here. 8 to 9 players will probably won't play, and you're left with 11 here that are going to be your main 11. It just has to be. So now that I'm done with that, score predictions, I'm gonna go Liverpool 2, because I think they will score more than once. They could even score 2 or 3, but I'm gonna say 2. Real Madrid 3. Confident, delusional, arrogant. I don't know. You just have to support your team all the way through, and I do believe that we can do this. Let's go out there. Let's get the win. Let me know what your starting 11 would be and your score predictions. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the subscribe to the channel is on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. pitch